This meeting is being recorded.
Hello, happy health habits, friends. My favorite part of the week.
Yes.
So really, I look forward to this so very much. So it is May 21st. Can't believe, is it 22nd?
22nd.
And
Yeah.
Wendy's here for a short bit before she goes off to do what? Volunteering, Wendy? That is awesome. That is awesome. We love it when we can contribute our good to the world, right? All participant who can share. Oh, okay. Share. So welcome. I have a short video that Wendy can catch before she leaves that I want to play for you guys. But welcome. Love you. You loved yourself enough to be here today to live a healthy lifestyle. So congratulations. Round of applause if you're here watching the video.
Yay.
You are on the right bus. If you are new and just chiming in or watching this, you are on the right bus, the energy bus. And read the 10 rules because we have fun on this bus, don't we, girls?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you see the screen right now? You can see the screen, okay?
Yes.
Okay. And so we have fun on this bus. We don't allow energy vampires. We attract other people who want to do right, live healthy lifestyles and stop dieting. We love each other, and we drive with purpose. So read the 10 rules from your energy bus over when you have a moment because it's a great place to be, and we need more. We have plenty of room on the bus, don't we? So we the more the merrier, right? What we want to do is really think about why we're really here. Of course, always. What's your word for the year? Have that in mind, as well as what your real why is, not your pant size and your scale number, right? Because that affects our this emotional component affects how we are, how well or not so well we are sticking to our strategy and our plan, okay, of wherever we are, whether we're in phase 6 and we're optimizing, or we're in phase 1 and we're just starting to lose weight. We have all these phases, and it's a journey for life. There's never a quit or a done or a I finished or I'm whatever. It's always right. Healthy living is a work in progress. And I have to tell you, the number one thing, again, if we can master this emotional resiliency piece, this heart coherence, the getting our brain and our body connected, I want to just direct you to page 115 of your life book, 113 of your life book, and review the human, Labrador, and lizard brain. It's in element number 4. Because the lizard brain, remember, is the one that the lizard brain is the primitive brain. It gets us all upset. It's the fight and flight stimulus that gets us into. It shuts off the human brain, so we can't think straight and we can't make good decisions and choices. So the topic from Monday was about choices versus cheating, was it not? Right? Wasn't it good? It was. Oh my. So when our lizard brain, our fight or flight is activated, our human brain can't make a good choice. So we want to stimulate the lizard brain or calm it down rather, which is why we do this, deep breathing, learn to breathe, learn to soothe ourselves, so that we can think and make better choices. Always breathe, wait 90 seconds, rule of thumb. And then once you do that, you can make a much more human, better, intelligent decision. Now, I want to share something with you. Did anyone see the humming video that I sent? I put out in the messenger group a while back. It was all hum your way to health. Did anybody see that? Did you see it, Deb?
Yeah, but it's been a long time now, it seems like.
Hum your way to health. I have a 4-minute little video I want to share with you because it is so good. It's on why humming is so important. Let's see if I can. Am I still here for you? Can you hear me?
No,
No?
no, just, okay, now I can.
Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
So I hope we don't have, I have some sort of internet in and out with the tornadoes and everything. Kathy says I've tried to connect numerous times. It says she's, there's a meeting in progress. Okay. Maybe she's using the wrong link. Hold on just a second. It should be this link. Did any of you guys have trouble?
No.
Okay. All right, so hopefully she can. Hi, Margot. Hello. Hi, Roxy. I hope Kathy can get in. All right. Not Sharon. Okay. All right. So she can get in. Okay, so what I want to do is before we get going here, while we're just getting regulated, let's go. I want to share this video on humming with you, so because it's going to help us make better choices based on the topic this morning. Hi, Martha. It will help us if we learn how and why humming works. Is anybody a hummer or a singer? Do you guys like to sing? Singing
Only in a large group.
I'm not a singer and I was never a hummer, but I want to let this guy show you what is going on here with humming and why it's so important. So let me optimize this and I'll share the link with you later, but I think it's really, really cool. Okay. Let me know if you can you see this? Can you see this, you guys?
Welcome, everyone.
Yes.
Mandel here. Here's something that makes me really excited. Why? Because I know that you're going to get excited once you hear about this. Here is something that you've been doing your whole life. You don't even realize what it's doing for you. Now think about all the times that you were in the shower, running around your house, driving in your car, and humming. It may be just a song, a tune, or just whatever it is, but you're humming. Now let's put all this together. Why are you humming? Because that is doing a neurophysiological change to your body. This is part of Mother Nature. This is the universal laws of healing that we sometimes get lost from our stresses, our fears, our worries. That kicks up the sympathetic nervous system, that causes that fight or flight, that adrenaline response, that cortisol, that makes us nervous, that increases our heart rate and our blood pressure, and we get all jittery. Our anxiety gets worse. The symptoms get worse as well. So I'm sure you're anxious to know what this is all about. This is about cranial nerve 10, the longest nerve of the body, called the vagus nerve. This nerve originates in the brain and makes its way down, goes into the neck, and passes around the digestive system. It controls the liver, the spleen, the pancreas, the heart, and the lungs, and plays a very important part in our intestines. This nerve is called the rest and digest type of nerve, versus the sympathetic system is the fight or flight. So it does make its way into the throat region, and yes, it controls the voice box. So when we hum, we're stimulating the vagus nerve. People who chant, people who sing. You look at the yogi masters, you look at people who meditate, like there are many different vibrational sounds that people throughout the world in different cultures use as part of healing. They know the effect. The effect is relaxation, parasympathetic, slowing down everything in the body. That means muscles become relaxed. That means inflammation becomes diminished. So all healing around the world that's expressed from within, that makes its way out with sound, is stimulated within our vocal cords, stimulating that vagus nerve, increasing the parasympathetic system. I challenge every one of you, make time to start humming and singing however it works in your life. You will see miracles, how your body starts to repair and heal. how you can sleep so much better, how you can focus and concentrate, how your anxiety comes down, and how your life is going to be so much better. I ask you, please, share this on your social media so we can help others worldwide. Leave your comments below because I know there will be many. And most important, make it a great day. I'm Dr. Alan Mandel.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, guys. All right, what did we learn from that? Well, lots of things. Hopefully we have. Oh, well, she didn't get in. I don't believe it. Still trying to get in. So I don't know. Somebody's got music on in the background. Is that you, Betty? Perhaps? No.
No?
Maybe it's Deb. No, she's on mute. TV?
Might be. I can close the door here just to make sure.
Oh, okay.
Because it's Jean in the other room, but
Yeah, maybe it's picking it up. Yeah. I'll tell you what, this humming thing is really important. This the vagus and the sympathetic nervous system is the fight or flight. The parasympathetic is that, what he said, rest and digest. And I'll tell you, I had undiagnosable irritable bowel issues, anxiety. He mentioned all of that. And in the last 3 years, since I've been working with Dr. Anderson in the last 5, and I've started learning how to incorporate the breathing, the belly box breathing, the deep breathing, stop, challenge, choose. Then I went to a higher level with the somatic work. The humming has been a really big part of that. The havening, right, that we talk about for self-soothing. Humming has been something that I've just learned to use in the last year and a half. And my biggest time at night when my brain gets really going in the hamster wheel and I get kind of stress or anxiety is in the middle of the night. So I'll lay there and actually do my havening techniques and hum and just not even you can hum a song or you can just hum a noise, and it actually calms down that lizard brain so that you can think straight. So you can hum anytime you're stressed, anytime you're trying to make a decision and you're feeling like it's going to be precarious. Just start humming and watch the effects of it. Calming you down. And has anybody ever tried that? We talked about it once before, but I thought that video was pretty profound. Were there any takeaways from the video?
Oh, this one?
Yeah, the one I just played.
Yeah, it was very interesting. I have never been a hummer, but and what you're talking about at night, it's something I would try because I'm not a sleeper. And so anything if I can lullaby me to sleep, that would be great.
Try it, Betty. Try it helps me sleep so much, especially if I have my amygdala, my Amy, that alter that, she goes and goes all night if I let her. But if I hum, yes. And I can start just kind of, hum and give myself a little hug. I can actually put myself to sleep within maybe 10 minutes. It's like a baby, no kidding, like a baby.
That's good. Yeah,
I know. So give it a try, Betty, and see. Anybody else have used humming or learn anything from the video?
Address that. I really like that doctor. I follow a lot of his stuff.
You do?
Yeah. So even though I've not seen that video on humming, because I trust him on all the other stuff, I feel like I trust this as well. But more importantly, humming raises vibration, right? Mm-hmm. Yep. And it helps you move between the different hertzes. And there's clearly a hertz for falling asleep, and there's clearly a hertz for anxiety. And so I think if you hum and get your hertz raised or lowered as needed, I think that will create that calming sound.
Yes.
And that's what the monks do. That's why they ohm, right?
Yep.
They're just trying to create that vibration.
Yep. Om, like in yoga, om, or it could be ah, it could be, singing ah, any sound that vibrates. Yeah. Anything, even singing. well, and you're right, because we all have, and you're exactly right, Martha. We have energies, there is a different hertz and energy for pretty much everything. Sleep, focus, concentration, high activity. So it's, yeah, humming. Try the humming, and where would you try it, Martha? What would be something where would you try it?
Well, I don't know that I would hum at night because that would keep other people up. Right. So, but when I was training for my Ironman, there was a point where I was so exhausted, but I couldn't stop. Like, you can't stop. You have to keep going. You must finish.
Yep.
That humming and repeating was something to calm my nervous system so that I could continue on. And it basically detached me from the exhaustion and the tiredness and the pain and the heat, because I was focused on humming.
It's crazy. It is crazy, you guys. That blows my mind. She's doing an Ironman and she's humming. I mean, but that's how powerful it is. Maybe you would sing, or maybe, whatever, but I have, I've oftentimes known people that are hummers, and they'll hum at the oddest times. And now I understand why they're humming, because they're probably stressed. It's the body's physiologic way of calming itself down. And you might, now I find myself humming in the shower. You're right, Martha. It does keep my husband up at night. So when we were on vacation, I drove him crazy, because if I would wake up, I'd be afraid I wasn't going to sleep. So I'd start humming, and he'd like, shut up, But when we don't sleep in the same bed because I'm too hot, then I can hum all I want. It puts me right back to sleep, and but yeah, so give it a try, because it really, and it's helped my digestion, my so-called irritable bowel. And just give it a try. Hum a tune, or just hum a sound, whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be anything, too specific, but try it along with the breathing and the havening, and it will help you make better choices. So that being said, I'm bummed because Kathy, you had notes from Monday night. Did anybody else watch Monday night? You watched the replay, Betty, right?
Yes, I did.
Do you want to be in charge of what your notes are, or maybe Deb, you have notes from Monday?
Sure, I'd love to share. The tips they gave were fabulous. They gave some really, and I didn't get them all down, but the ones someone else could pick up the other ones.
Which ones did you get?
Well, was don't skip meals. If you're going to go to a picnic, we were talking about a picnic, don't skip your meals and save up your food for the whole end of the day. Don't just eat your whatever fuelings you have. And what I thought was interesting is go through without a plate and look at everything.
Yeah.
And then go back with a small plate, rather than a platter or something. And another tip that I didn't realize that is, if you want to try something, just say 3 little bites, and that's enough to taste it. So all you need to do is take a little dab just to taste, rather than a whole bunch. And then they said, you bring something healthy. You get a healthy recipe, and you bring healthy there. And then afterwards, stay away from the table. You don't have to stand and talk to everybody by the table. Move away. Hold the water bottle in your hand. I thought that's the hand can't reach for chips if you've got a water bottle in your hand, right?
Yeah, dominant hand. Your dominant hand.
Yes. And then they said wear your fitted clothes, so that you're looking down and say, "Ooh, I look pretty good. I'm not going to eat that and bulge it out." And one of the last things too that I thought, if it's at your house, send the leftovers home with everybody. You may have some left, but have your little Tupperware things there, and send them home with everybody else so they can take it. And then another thing they said, which is really hard for me, is it's okay to throw food away. Mine has to be growing mold 6 inches deep and, reaching for me before maybe I should throw it. But those are some good terms.
Allow yourself to be friends with the garbage disposal, she said.
Yeah. Oh, that was a good
Yeah.
one. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I love that. I love
Betty,
that.
I think Betty covered pretty much all of it, don't you think, Deb? You got all you got a lot of the high points. I don't know if you got
Good.
anything, Roxy, if you were there, but what was your favorite point, Betty? Oh, your win for the week. Thank you for sharing. Those were awesome points that you brought out. And I would add, has anyone ever tried to make sure you wear something with zippers and buttons to an event? Have you ever done that?
Yes, rather than your elastic.
Let
Your
me tell
muumuu.
you
Don't wear your muumuu. Don't wear your muumuu that day. So
yeah, let me tell you what. I have started since I've been in this. It's just, learning from these people and other coaches. I have started doing that in the last several years, and it works. And when I tell you, when I am tired, when I'm cranky, when I'm not regulated, and my nervous system is not calm, I put on pants with zippers and buttons because it's almost like a nervous system stimulation because you can feel it, you right? So because I'm a chiropractor, so I love that whole vagus nerve, the longest nerve, and all this stuff, right? So it actually reminds my brain because it's tight. When it's loose, do you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And so on my worst days, if you see me in my skinny pants or my hot pink jeans, I got my hot pinks on today, or whatever, it's because most of the time I'm purposely wearing them to keep myself like in order. Mentally, really, it works. Has anybody ever tried that?
Well, if you look sloppy, you're going to feel sloppy. If you look neat and trim, pretty soon you're going to start feeling that, even if you didn't start out feeling that,
It works. Yes. It works. And I love Dr. Anderson saying, when I was an MD, I wore drawstrings and drawstring, the surgical pants all the time. And then he said I started trying to wear jeans and zippers and buttons, and they were my friend. And then it's true. It really is true. It stimulates. Yeah. So anyway, give it a whirl if you have never done that. Deb, what were your points? I know you took. Oh, wait, Betty, before we leave you, what's your win of the week you wanted to share?
My win of the week, my friend came over and she and I worked. We were on here for 45 minutes trying to get the Zoom up, and it didn't work. So it wasn't just me. She said, it's not just you, Betty. But what I discovered was I can go, Dr. Amy, you have a magic little button, teeny weeny, itsy bitsy thing way up in a corner, which I've seen but glanced over. I click that, it says click here. And oh my goodness, guess what? You can get into the videos. So on Tuesday, after she left, on Tuesday, I was able to get in and view the video and take my notes. And that's such a blessing because you don't know how frustrated, anxious, angry at myself that I would get in the beginning trying to get onto Monday night meetings. So
fantastic, girlfriend. Fantastic. That is a big win. Betty's win.
Yes, it was.
You're never too old to learn new tricks. And I know, Wendy, you have to go soon. So do you want to share a win of the week quick before you go? Anything that you're working? Oh, she's on mute. Nope, she's eating lunch. No. Okay. You chime in if
ready to leave, and I'm listening.
Yeah. Did you pick up any points you thought you'd use, or any wins of the week that you'd like to share, or any teachable moments?
Well, no, I had some card challenges this week, so I was working on my breathing techniques and keeping calm and realizing what I could do and couldn't do at that moment in time just to stay calm and deal with it. Almost got stranded in stupid Iowa.
You know what? Hum in traffic.
I sing to myself all the time. I think I don't realize I'm doing it, but I do tend to do that.
That's
count.
Awesome. Well, now we know we can run and hum at the same time, which I find hard to believe, but I will try it.
I got my car out of Iowa and I didn't get stuck with it. Anyways.
Well, good for you for keeping regulated during this stressful time. That's fantastic.
Remembering to breathe and realizing what you can do something about in that moment and what you can't.
Yeah. God, grant me serenity. Accept the things I cannot change.
Amen. Yes.
Courage to change the things that I can. That's awesome. See, that's a huge win in itself. Good job, girl.
Yes.
Fantastic. Mindset May, don't forget to check into that daily if you haven't been. I have been personally appreciating it because that's my favorite thing to be focused on is the mental gym piece. So today was finding a silver lining, and I think that is a really big topic, finding a silver lining in anything. Deb, do you want to share, or Margot? She can share. She can share. She's a big win of the week. Martha, do you have to leave? Do you have anything else, a win that you want to share? Oh, just check in. I don't know how long you could stay. So
Yep, I don't have to leave yet. But I
Okay.
can go. I can go. Whoever. I'll let the other people that have to leave go first if anybody needs to go first.
Okay. Anybody else? No. Okay. Martha, what's your win of the week? Thanks for sharing
Uh,
about.
My win of the week is that for looking backwards, the last 3 weeks I had plateaued. And I was like, oh, okay, I could be like, I'm done with this. I'm not doing it anymore. But I just stuck to it and followed the path and repeated process. And I'm down to my, when I weighed in on Monday, I'm down to my last 2.8 pounds to go to hit my goal. Yeah.
Oh.
So I'm very
Wow.
excited. It was like nothing happened for 3 weeks. And then suddenly last week it
Boom.
happened again. And it's probably because I let it go. And I wasn't like, oh my God,
Yeah.
I was there.
Yeah, because you know what, Martha, we get ourselves stressed out like that, and then our cortisol goes up,
Yeah.
and then our fat burn, so that the fight or flight kicks in, right? And then the fat burners shut off. So it's important that we don't stress out about the scale not moving, right, Martha? Because then it just sort of keeps you. It will, and it can keep you stuck if you stress out about it. You got to let
Right.
it go.
And I didn't eat like I could that I'm a perfect study of I didn't have like more calories. Like I knew exactly what I put into my body and it wasn't
Yeah.
any more than normal, but the cortisol definitely kicked in and it was like, I'm not letting go. And I was like, yes, you are. And then I created a little
Yes,
thank
you are.
yourself mindset and I put it up in my office. I put a little like I made a sign and I printed it so I can share it with everybody if you
Yes,
want me.
please do. Please do. And never underestimate the power of sleep cycles and stress on weight loss, guys. It is so powerful. Gotta keep it under control. Hum your way to skinny jeans, right? Hum your way to your healthy weight, right? Just hug yourself, right? Keep it down, let it go. Anything you got to do to just stay calm and sleep at night. That's fantastic. Bravo. So what was your original goal? Like 40 pounds or something, right? So
Yes, that was my original goal. So I'm so close.
I want to see pictures. Let me see this before and after. Let's see this. All right. I want to, you don't have to do it right now, but I want to see that.
Got it. I did put that. I'll bring pictures next time. Well, as soon as I hit my goal. And then I did put that picture in the chat.
Okay. Cool.
I made that. And after the last meeting that I was at, you guys were talking about Mindset May. And so I printed it off and I put it in my office so I see it every day.
Oh, I love it. Thank you. I will pass this along. I will share it and pass it along. Thank you. This is fantastic. Love it. Love it. Love it. You guys can snag it right now if you see it, but I'm gonna copy it and save it to the. Thank you very. That's awesome. Oh, you are so cute. You're just that's fantastic. I'm so proud of you. Really, really. And then and tell Deb hello, give her hugs for us. I know she's not here, but
that's all right. I printed an empty, like I made one of these as a template with the hearts empty. And I was like, Deb, fill it in and put it up. So
that's
I'm
awesome.
keeping her on track, even though, because you ladies help me stay on track.
Yes.
I love the accountability of, knowing you guys are out there.
Well, I appreciate you being here and helping us hold each other accountable. And I think I should hire you for a graphic designer because I don't know how you do all this stuff, but I think you should have another job. But
I'm available for free. So
you
anytime you need me, I'm ready.
Oh, be careful. I
Oh
will
boy.
take you up on
Yeah,
that.
be careful.
I will take you up on that. You know what? The new Martha is coming out, right? And I was talking to another client. So Martha, you'll be thinking of your what's next goal because there's never a done. Like when you're on a healthy habit journey, you're just like, what's next, right? What's next? And so June 3rd, there's going to be another challenge just for the very serious people who want to really focus in on something for 2 weeks. It's going to be a 15-day challenge called Drop It Like It's Hot starting June 3rd. So if you're into that, if you want to plug in, it's going to be a separate group from Optimal Life. But if you want to plug in and get, real nitty gritty for 2 weeks, just take it real seriously, that's going to be a group for our real players. So that's coming up. Memorial Day, of course, is this weekend, so plan ahead. I gave planners, the little plan ahead planners out. The recipe books is in the chat, recipe book link. Share it with friends and family, as always. And so that's coming up, and just want to make sure the Monday night, great. Watch it before your picnics, watch it before your parties, because it will help you. Betty just gave us most of the tips.
They were good.
They were great tips. You did awesome, Betty. Deb, did she leave any out? Were there any favorites? Or Roxy, any favorites that you had that she missed out for Monday? Wins of the week?
I didn't hear Monday, so I'm happy for the synopsis. Sounds good.
Yeah, these ladies rocked it out. I've been listening for 5 years. I learned some new things.
I want to share some points and also take notes. It was like, when you are in the table with the food, you just make the party about friends, connections, not just eating. You stand up on the table and dance, move, walk, and I like that point. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And at the end, they said it's the point is like it's your attitude that makes the whole change. Just have to be grateful and just think, like you said, yes to freedom, not just be not the food be controlling you. And just have that in mind and enjoy.
Yes.
Yeah. Fellowship, friends, family, fun, not food, right? Make your focus all of the F's that are not food, right, Roxy?
Yes.
And your attitude, you mentioned that, your attitude. Hey, I love it was about, are you gonna, your attitude is like, are you gonna show up at the party and act like a victim? Like, oh, I can't have that.
Yes, I know.
Oh, and they said, go to the drama triangle and are you being a victim, a villain, or a hero? Oh, I can't have that. Oh, this stupid diet. Or, oh, she made me have it. Or, oh, he expects me to have it. Victim, right? Or, oh, like, see, what is it in your mind? What are you saying to yourself? Are you being victim, villain, or hero? Because there's something going on in there. And you know what I'm saying? Like you're allowing something. And so I love that analogy because it's so true. You're either going to shame and blamed and victimized, or you're going to victimize yourself. I loved that. I thought those tips were great. Go to really think about your thinking and it affects your attitude. Don't be like, oh, poor me, I can't eat any of this because I'm on a diet. Then people are going to push you and tell you can do it anyway and peer pressure you. But I also like the point, Roxy, you were saying your attitude is, no, thanks, I'm good, right? No, thanks, I'm good, right? You don't have to say anything else. No, thanks, I'm good. No, thanks is the complete sentence. Be grateful that you're there, that you're breathing, you don't have terminal cancer, and you don't have 24 hours to live. My cousin said that the other day. She said, there's nothing wrong in my life. I don't have 24 hours before I'm dying. Nothing's an emergency. Everything's good, right? Like, and she goes, she's not well. She's not physically well. And this is her attitude. I'm like, this blows my mind, right? So it is all about our perspective. And so you're right. Wear your zipper jeans, watch your attitude, get away from the food table. The other point that she said that I loved is never ever start by saying this is day one.
Yes,
Oh,
that was important. Never.
hello. Oh.
Never go back to no, I'm on day 471. I'm sorry, 451. 451. I'm not on day one, even if I slipped. It doesn't.
No.
I'm facing forward. Even if I fall on my face, I'm still facing forward.
I challenge everyone to go back and think about how many years and how many days you could add up that you've been working on your optimally healthy habits, right?
Yep. Yep.
Declare a day. This is the day I started, and go back and see how many days. This is day number 8. I haven't done that yet, but I'm going to. Isn't that cool?
Yes, I like that. I like that. And I like the part too about the victim. Okay, if you go in there with the I'm a victim, oh, I wish I could hear, oh, that smells so good. Then like a magnet, all those food pushers come, they flock around you, and then you're just inviting. It's almost like you're saying, oh, talk me into it. You know,
okay.
No, you can't do that.
Then they come and codependently hero you. Oh, you don't have to be on a diet today.
Yeah, it's okay.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah. And one thing that really helped this week, and this was just one time, it's like, I don't want to have that. What you supplied last week was, I get to, and I thought, I get to not eat that today. And what an attitude in myself. I was shocked right there at the table. I'm sitting there. I don't have to do that. I switch the half. I don't want to do this. It really made a difference.
I also challenge you for any upcoming events this summer to go to the Empowerment Triangle and figure out what are your statements? What are you going to say? Have your statements ready. Yeah. Am I going to be no thanks? Am I going to be a no thanks, I'm good girl? Or am I going to be, here's another one a guy told me the other day. He says, no thanks, I have too much to lose. Or if anyone questions him why he's not drinking like the guys anymore, he says, no, I have too much to lose. No thanks, I got too much to lose. How brilliant is that? Right? No thanks, I have too much to lose. Why? He says, when someone asks him why, I got too much to lose. What? Yeah. That is it. I love it. And I love it. And then what do you want more of? What do you want? We want all of that food on that table. We want all the bars on the brownie plate, but what do we want more? Yes. Right? What do we want more? So that was another one I got, and you hit all the other tips, but I liked those guys. Those were the ones I took away specifically. And then Elaine, I don't know if it may be Elaine on the phone. If you want to speak up, you certainly can. Deb, do you have a win of the week? Because I know Margot has a huge one she's going to share with us.
I wanted to say thank you to Martha, but yes, because I'm stuck at this plateau and I couldn't figure out how that could be, because I'm very close to my end also. But I have been having some extra stress, which I thought I was managing quite well, but it's still there. And I haven't been drinking water like I should. So I think those are a couple of my problems. So thank you, Martha. Thank you. Was that Martha that said that? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So my win is the times when my son and daughter-in-law are having some severe difficulties, and my daughter-in-law and youngest grandchild came to spend a weekend with me to get away for a while. So I was listening to her all weekend and helping her think about how to think about things differently, or giving her other ideas. And then my son also needs to talk to someone, so he's also talking to me.
You got two sides of the coin going on.
And I'm walking the middle, trying to be impartial, because I love them both. I don't want this to, be the end. But I'm doing a good. I mean, I just have my little card on my table, and I intentionally start breathing. not saying anything. So that's very helpful to me. It helps me a lot when I'm in the midst of those situations. So that is my win.
Now you can add humming and just start rubbing your hands together.
Yeah, can't really do the humming while they're talking to me, but
yeah, well,
I can breathe and I could rub my hands under the table.
Sure, yeah, you can
or pat my thighs. But the hummings, no, the breathing really, that really helps me to think, stop and think and not respond. So, whew.
Bravo.
Yeah.
Bravo. Got to keep that nervous system regulated. That is fantastic. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Wow. Huge. Those are huge relational
yes.
So great. Speaking of breakthrough, I'm going to type these up, but I got 7 different breakthrough strategies from my 90-day extraordinary life challenge that I will share with you all at another time. And then I put some affirmation cards in there about my truth. I like that because we all have a truth. We all have a truth for ourselves. We all have a true self. We all have an authentic self. So if you want to see that in the chat, I love that because I remind myself every day if I'm living my truth and I'm checking my attitude and being my truth, being true to me, then I'm doing a service in the world just because so many people are living in this put upon, role that they're maybe not feeling like they even want to be in. Do you know what I'm saying? And so what I've learned through this whole, like I said, the dress your truth thing is really to live my truth. The more I live my truth, the closer I get to my truth, the more authentic I am, the more happy the people are around me. And I'm really noticing that it's do you know what I'm saying? Like it's affecting all the people around me. They're acting and feeling and looking different. Does that make sense? So I put my other wins in there on that graphic because I think that's a good takeaway to really kind of sit and think about for yourself. How can I be, more authentically me? And always now am a total believer in whatever you're doing, make sure you feel good in what you have on your body. I never knew the power of it. So whether it's the right color, it's the right fit, whatever size or shape you are, doesn't matter. Just make sure you're feeling good on the outside too. I had no idea the power of that until just this year. So just keep that in mind. Do your typing test, get your right colors. Margot had a huge kind of she skinned a knee pretty big. She broke a bone, basically. And she ended up back on her feet, right? But tell what happened and your win for the week, Margot. She didn't really break a bone. She just
you said I broke a bone.
You fell off your bike and broke your bone, and now you learned a lesson. That was just an analogy.
Oh, an analogy. Okay, because no more broken bones. Ever, never. Not gonna do that.
No. Sorry,
I thought you broke your bone.
Well,
that was literal, but tell them what happened to you and your win, your win of the week.
Well, my first thing is I'd like to say something about Monday night because I didn't hear anyone say something that I thought was really simple, and that is most buffets, they're going to have your plate out there for all your main food, and they're going to have smaller plates for the cupcakes and the brownies and all of that. Take the smaller plate.
Yeah.
As opposed to the bigger plate. And the other one was, look at your environment, and if it works, look at a couple of your friends and say, let's go for a walk.
Yes.
And go for a walk, and not to them why or whatever. You just want to get some exercise. And I thought that was cool because usually in a large group, you're someplace where you can do that. And you can walk and talk, and it makes for a better enjoyment of the day.
Absolutely.
And then my greatest enjoyment of the day is being home because Saturday I had a hiccup and landed in the hospital. Very strangely, it was called an angry esophagus. And what happened was I was taking some of my medication, and one of my supplements is an iron pill that is coated, and it's very small, and I took it and it stuck right in the middle of my throat.
Oh.
And because it was coated, it wouldn't dissolve. And I was trying to get it out and trying to get it out, and it wouldn't move. It wouldn't do anything. I was starting to have a hard time breathing. And then I was starting to feel pressure on my chest. And being a heart patient, I didn't want to take any risks there. And I was starting to have nausea, and I had some kidney issues. And I thought, oh my God, I need to get to the hospital. So I was in this situation where I had to call 911, and they were amazing, absolutely amazing. Got me the EMT got me to get, we think, got me to get the pill out. We're totally sure, but because of the pressure on the chest and everything, they took me to the hospital and wanted to make sure that everything was a-okay. So they did tests and everything, and once again, thank God, thank Optavia, because my kidney specialist was going, so how often do you have acid reflux? Never. How often do you have digestive problems? Never. Do you have trouble eating? No, not at all. Okay, and what kind of foods do you eat? Oh, well, that's a long discussion. But I eat several times a day to keep my metabolism going. And he goes, several times a day. I said, yeah, 5 or 6. What? And I said, yeah, but I said, it keeps me going and it works. And considering the fact that it helped me lose 110 pounds. And he goes, you what? And he said, I am so surprised. He said, because of your diabetes, because of your heart, you naturally have higher levels in your kidneys. But he said, for what you're going through, he said, you're in very good shape. And then they did a CT scan, and they actually did a second one because that was for my heart. And they did a second one because the first one looked so good that they thought they missed something.
Yeah.
And so that was it. So then they ultimately did a barium x-ray of the esophagus, and it looked okay. So they couldn't really determine what caused the blockage. But what they're doing now is, normally they would go in and do a scope, but because the esophagus is so inflamed, they didn't want to do that now. So they've got me on a special medication and oh, this is going to be fun, a soft diet for 1 to 2 months, which is going to be interesting. But anyway, it'll be fine. And then they'll do the scope and determine what caused it so that I don't have something like that happen again. But
Okay.
the one main thing, 2 things that I learned is, for a lot of you don't know my back history, but I have trouble with venous wounds on my legs. And that's been going on, and I treat it and things are getting better. But now when somebody says to me, how are you doing? I said, from my neck to my knees, I'm doing great. And that's the part of my body that I really want to do great, is because everything is in there. and that has to work good. But that I would say to anybody, if you ever have anything like that happen, where you feel something get stuck in your throat, don't try to get it out yourself. Don't wait.
Okay.
Call for help. The first thing that they did for me is they got me some carbonated water. And I'd been trying to drink water, and I'd drink it and it'd come right back out, but just the water. But when they gave me the carbonated water, everything came out. But the paramedic even said, if this occurs, you always want to call for help, because you never know that it's completely cleared. And it was starting to affect my breathing and everything. But after a couple of days and a lot of tests and work and everything else, I'm home, A-okay, and just need to go through the healing process. And what my nephrologist said, even asked me, you know, you're 75 years old. He said, you're really healthy for other than this was a fluke. But he said, what do you attribute it to? And I went, habits of health. And he said, habits of health. He said, oh, you mean healthy habits? I said, no, habits of health. And he said, habits of health? And I said, yes. And it comes with a Live It program that makes it work better. He said, a Live It program? I said, yeah. And he said, what's the Live It program? And I said, well, it helps you lose weight. He said, oh, a diet. I said, no, it's a Live It. Because when you get through it and do what you're supposed to do, you're going to live better.
And you don't have to wait anymore.
Yeah, he went, this is beyond me. And I said, unfortunately, Doc, it's beyond most medical people.
Wow.
So once again, I attribute it to everything else being okay, and strange things happen. And I'm just glad I was in the right hands, in the right place with the right people.
My favorite thing about Margot is she has zero fear of telling medical doctors how it is.
I love that.
She has never, in all of her trauma, always been telling those doctors what to do and how to live. And they never listen.
Good job, Margot.
True.
They just want to give you pills.
Yeah, that's it. Well, and that was a whole other thing, because my world has changed because they don't want me taking pills. So now they're having to find what things I can do that would do the same thing the pills do that are not a pill.
Yep. You guys, you know what I did? I bravo, everybody, standing O for Margot, because she, comes on the other side, and she actually tries to make a difference in the meantime, telling she's trying to teach people. I mean, can you believe that? I mean, that's so you. That's so you. And I love that. I love that about you. She's just fearless. No matter, she could be dying, and she's like, "You better live healthy. You better do the habits of health." They're CPRing her, and she's telling the doctor what to do and how to be healthy. It's hilarious. I got brave, and I had an endocrinology appointment just Monday. And last week, this has been on my mind and heart forever, but we have the endocrinologist that shows up on all our webinars all the time. Her name's Dr. Mary something, I can't remember. But I sent her 2 videos that the endocrinologist was in the webinars, and I sent her this dissertation on my patient portal. And I just sort of let her have it. And I was like, I'm sure you didn't get into medicine to just give people. I didn't. I said it very nicely and crafted this nice email and just shared with her, some information and these webinars with an endocrinologist in them. But when I got to my appointment, she actually messaged me back and said, thank you very much. I'll try to take a look at these links. And when I got to my appointment, she was interested in not the diet, but she was interested in the lifestyle piece, because she is interested in helping people to actually make lifestyle changes. And she was interested in that.
Good.
And I really feel like that was a big win for me this week. Yeah. I got the guts up to do it, to say it, to follow through on it when I was face to face with her, and just, so hopefully we can, get her a book in her hands, and,
that'd be great.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that.
Well, if I can add one thing too, to give everybody a heads up, I don't know how you are, but one of my biggest problems when I'm in the hospital, they're always giving you an IV, and I am a very difficult poke. So much so that it took several before they got the first one. That one blew out. They had to do another one. That one blew out. And ultimately, they got it. And I've never had this done before, where they brought in an ultrasound machine.
Oh.
Yeah, and you can ask for it right up front. If you have difficulty getting an IV, you can say, I want them to do it with the ultrasound machine, because when they do that, they can actually see your veins. And when they use the ultrasound machine, after 13 tries, they finally got it in.
Wow.
That's awful.
So
That's
and then they told me you can ask for it right away. You can say, before you do that, I want the ultrasound machine.
Well,
and they have to do it. Yeah. I hope you never ever need
That's a great tip.
Yeah.
Hopefully we won't need that, but thank you very much. I appreciate that. Margot, do you have a quote for the end for Margot's moments?
I do, and I think this is really fits so well.
Yeah, I just, before Margot goes, I put something in the chat. If anybody needs to count down their days, there's an app, and maybe Amy, you could send it to the group later.
Oh, okay.
It's called Day Circle Day Counter. And you guys, I literally did it while you guys were talking. And apparently I'm at day 206. And I had no idea what my day was. I just know when I started, which was back in 23. I know the day I did it, which was my birthday.
Oh, I love it.
And it automatically calculates how many days in you are.
You are
cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
You are genius.
So yeah, I just wanted to draw your attention to that, and I'm sure, Amy, you could share it with everybody.
Oh, that's genius.
Yeah, share it later, please.
Apple Store. She has an Apple Store. Check out the Apple. Okay, it's an app. Okay, awesome. That is fantastic, because then we can actually have it every day. We don't have to do the calculation.
Yeah.
Okay. And next week I'm gonna have Carrie's sisters, Kate, come on. I was chatting with her this week, guys, and this is so profound. She is using her emotional neuro-emotional techniques that she does she disappeared her own Dorito and Dr. Pepper cravings. Like, this woman was seriously addicted to Dr. Pepper and Doritos, could not live without it, kind of an addiction, craving bad. Have you guys ever had a craving like you can't get rid of? Like,
yeah.
Anyway, when she told me that, I about died, because for years I've been trying to get her to stop doing that. Well, she literally couldn't, but she's had some training where she learned how to kind of neuroemotionally delete. She was kind of sharing a little bit of it with us last week, but how to neuroemotionally delete it. And she has done it. She said, I haven't had Doritos in months, and I cringe at the thought of Dr. Pepper. It's disgusting. I thought, you've got to be kidding me. Who am I talking to? Is anyway, she's going to do a little taste tester with us, ironically, pun intended, with us next week. So come with an idea about a craving that you may have, that's something that's, has been tough in the past, or maybe still is tough for you, a specific, like, one food thing, like, and come with that in mind. Come with it in hand. She's going to do a little sample session for us. And I thought, okay, that's brilliant. I'm sure everyone has one.
Wow. Yeah.
So bring your sample craving thing. So go ahead. Girl.
Okay. This is from a gal by the name of Ellen, who spent 30 years with Mother Teresa. One day, after my conversation had been filled with a litany of problems for Mother Teresa, some of them seemingly insoluble, Mother Teresa remarked, "Everything is a problem." Isn't there another word? I considered that and said I know no other word that carried the same weight. Mother Teresa said, "Why not use the word gift?" she suggested. And let everything in our lives become a gift that leads us, teaches us, and ultimately changes us for the good. Focusing on a problem, our heart knows only pain. Changing it to a gift, and leaving experience with that gift will fill your heart with joy.
Oh,
Great.
I love it.
That is good. Yeah.
So everything is a gift. You just have to use it that way. My experience was just a gift, a new appreciation for my life, for my friends, for the world that I live in. Well, maybe not so much the world right now, but
a new appreciation. Yep. Yeah. I have another friend, a coach, who calls a problem a puzzle. And have fun doing a puzzle.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I like gift better. Martha, I'm putting your graphics in the chat today here. So thank you for sharing those. No, you never have a problem. You always have a gift and a puzzle, and always see the silver lining, right? Day 22.
Yep.
Always see the silver lining. So thank you for sharing your silver linings, Margot, in the midst of all the chaos. And I love and appreciate all of you. So go out and be healthy, be well, and be a role model for all. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Love you guys.
Love you.
Bye. Love you.
Take care. Bye-bye.